Hello everybody and welcome to this, your Pisces January 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, Clairvoyant. Well, have I got a great deck for you this month. Now, the artwork is known as surrealism, I suppose, but there's no weird surrealistic stuff going on, surrealism. You know, there was that school of art, I think. Who was it? Was it Dali or Picasso? Was Picasso a cubist? Dali a surrealist? I don't know. You probably know more about that than I do. I'm a barbarian when it comes to a lot of this stuff to do with art history and things. But I've got to say that this is really good, and if I like it, I know that you're going to like it as well. Now, I will say this though, that I probably told you that I offer clairvoyant readings for people from all over the world over FaceTime and Skype. And if you might be interested in, that takes about an hour and a half. And if you might be interested or curious to see what's involved, the information's in the description. Now, separately to that, I also offer for free. I charge for the clairvoyant readings. The prices are in there, of course. What I offer for free is the spiritual gift of healing, which comes through me and not from me. It takes about 45 minutes, also by FaceTime and Skype, if you're in other countries. And it's free because when I was born, it was with me, and it's obviously meant intuitively that I am to provide it without any return coming to me. So there's no obligation, no expectation, no fees, nothing. You don't even have to send me a candy bar or anything like that. And so if this is calling out to you, if it's speaking to you, don't be shy, because I do people every day from this channel. I set time aside each day to do the healings as well as readings, of course. And it's my spiritual duty to do it. You might just be at your wit's end about something. It could be things to do with work. Could be things to do with, it could be anything. You know, it's a clean slate. The objective is that the beloved can provide relief because it is compassionate. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so you get to enjoy it without any interruption. Now, show me the magic. What's that? The chariot. Oh, it's not a bad card at all for this time of year. There's the Three of Swords. That's good for you, I think. Let's have a look next to that chariot. There's the Devil. Now, you see, that's probably one of those artists. It might be Dali, is it? I don't know. He's got a bit of a look of him, so maybe Dali was the surrealist person. There's Death. Good water energy around that. Good for you, if I may say. So the Chariot, Three Swords, the Devil, Death, and finally, what is there? Let me take something from somewhere around in here, shall we? And there's what? There is the Four of Wands. Now, I'll bring the camera round so that you and I can have a good look at the imagery that's on these cards together while I do the reading for you. What a great looking month for you. Some changes, you are transforming yourself. This is a turning point. Going off in new directions, love, lots of work, and maybe a lot of sensual passion, I think. Why don't I have... No, it's not. What is calling out to... This is calling out to be spoken of first, because it obviously has something very important to say to you. Well, they're all important, are they? Well, this is the Three of Swords, which is here in this position up on the top. Saturn in the second decan of Libra, 3rd of October to the 12th of October. Now, Saturn is exalted in Libra, so that's really good. Saturn, though, is a strict teacher, and it makes all impurities visible, and it blocks all comfortable avenues of escape. And in one respect, I think the lesson to be learned here is that you need to get on top of care and worry, because a distrustful, disorganized outlook must be recognized clearly as negative energy, which is separating you from your purpose here. Now, this can, I think, also relate to a tension-loaded, three-sided relationship. This energy is coming in somehow attempting in some way to explode or destroy that three-sided relationship. Well, in these situations, you need to make clear decisions, because any attempt to avoid making them will just cause you sorrow and worry. Now, given the time of year that it is, there are a lot of changes that people make, a lot of relationship changes as well, I must say. What's coming up here in particular is that, do you know, I think you are really looking for tenderness. Tenderness. Now, falling in love is easy when romantic attraction is combined with that insatiable physical desire. Well, put them together and they form a glamorous, glittering glass object which is as fragile as it is alluring, and it can shatter as soon as it is grabbed hold of. Well, tenderness, that's a different story. It has staying power and the promise of a future. I think that this energy is also saying that perhaps the time has come to lay that baggage down and leave behind all the struggling and the striving. You can be set free as you now journey forward into a balanced, healthy, and rewarding future. But remember, at times it may seem as though you and your past are the same thing, that you are one. You know, sometimes you can fail to draw the line between what has happened to you and who you are today. And if you have a hard time getting beyond that damaging mindset, then this is giving you encouragement right now. You are not your past. Although you are changed and shaped by past experiences, who you were yesterday does not control the person that you have the potential to become tomorrow. Letting go is also this theme that's around here. Do you know, letting go for you is one of the major cornerstones of being set free. Make a decision to release whatever is holding you back. Don't hold on to anything that is not empowering you to move forward. You see, in reality, you always have the option of choosing whether you will focus on a hurtful past or fill your mind with uplifting thoughts of the present and all of its blessings. Your mind can't focus on both negative and positive ideas at the same time. And always remember, particularly now at this time of year, that one of the great things about life is that you can always start over. Do you know the beloved specializes in giving people fresh starts? Now, while you might feel overwhelmed at times and held back by painful recollections, haunting fears, remorse, shame, or guilt, well, the power of the beloved in your life is not limited by what took place in your past. Now, when you are governed and manipulated by your painful memories, you allow your past to control your future. Now, let me have a look again at this girl who is impaled upon this. Well, this is a message for all the girls, whether they're in their 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s or over 100. This is for the girls who have the tendency to stay up at night listening to music that reminds them of their current situation, who hide their fears, hurt, pain, and tears under the smiles, laughs, and giggles on a daily basis. The girls who wear their heart on their sleeve. The girls who pray that things will work out just once and they'll be satisfied. The girls who scream and cry into their pillows because everybody else fails to listen. The girls who have so many secrets but won't tell a soul. The girls who have made mistakes and regrets on a daily basis. The girls that never win. The girls that stay up all night thinking about that one boy and hoping that he'll notice her one day. The girls who take life as it comes, to the girls who are hoping that it will get better somewhere down the road. For the girls who love with all their heart, although it always gets broken. To the girls who think it's over. To real girls, to all girls, the message is this: you matter, you are important, you are beautiful. Now, there is something, as I mentioned, that was talking about transformation. It's a major arcana. Let's have a look at this card here of death. And this is Scorpio ruled by Mars, that planet of fiery energy, here in its lowest form, which is necessary to provide the impulse for you to change. Scorpio, yeah, that's about death and resurrection, a transformation, becoming free of old ensnarements is what I see you going through now. Some external changes, there's some endings, and letting go of emotional attachments. In a sense, it's almost the end of an era or a cycle together. Now, this process may well be bound up with some aggravation, but because you've drawn this card, it shows that you are ready to deal with it. The act of letting go, difficult as it may be, is actually going to set you free. Now, death shows two faces, one destroying and tearing down, and the other freeing you from old chains which have become confining and preventing life. Now, which of those two aspects is going to be dominating in your life depends on your attitude, because any desire to hold on to or cling to old bonds is just going to cause their death to appear that much more agonizing. Something is dying, dissolving, or disintegrating in your life, but do not be concerned about it, because death is your protection against stagnation, and it also secures your precious heart. Death cuts down the weeds so that the sun can shine down and allows something more useful to grow. So before you can live, a part of you has to die. You have to let go of what could have been, how you should have acted, and what you wish you would have said differently. You have to accept that you can't change the past experiences or the opinions of others at that moment in time, or what has flowed from their choices or yours. And when you get this truth, you understand the meaning of forgiving yourself. And from this point, you will finally be free. There are no coincidences in life. What person that wandered in and out of your life, well, they were there for some purpose, even if they caused you harm. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, the short periods of time we get with people or the outcome from their choices. However, there is a big picture there, and the beloved has your back. And because this has got a female figure in it, I'll speak of a woman here. And the message is, when you find a guy who calls you beautiful instead of hot, who calls you back when you hang up on him, who will stand in front of you when others cast stones, or will stay awake just to watch you sleep, who wants to show you off to the world when you are in your sweatpants, and will hold your hand when you are sick, who thinks you're beautiful without makeup, the one who turns to his friends and says, "That's her," the one who would die if you were to reject him, and the one who watches the stars and names one for you, and will hold and rock that baby for hours so you can sleep. But you are now ready to make the necessary changes in your life and accept any separation pain that may come from the loss of the old. To what outdated relationships or situations are you clinging? Say this to yourself: I let go of people and situations with ease and with dignity. Every ending heralds the new beginning. I now say yes to death and yes to myself. Now let's see what's on that same horizontal as it. What is the energy coming up? Oh, it's very much the same. No coincidences really, are there? So actually, I'm just looking at this. This is Venus in Aries. You might think that's a problem because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Venus and Mars, they say, do not get on, but I think Venus is using her feminine wiles here to tame Mars. The other thing is when Venus is the morning star, she's like the warrior queen. So there is actually, despite what you may hear in the newspapers, quite a lot of good energy between the two planets when necessary. Now this is speaking to you of completion, sorting things out, new beginnings coming here. This is a green light to success. It's a foundation. It's the first stage to completion. Possibly setting up a new house or moving home is what I see here. There's a harmony between people here. The fire of creativity is within you now. So Venus, which is the symbol of beauty and love, combined with Aries, the principle of new beginnings, means that your heart is now pushing forward and seeking the development of the beautiful in new directions. But before the new can arise, the old must be complete. And the conflict between opposites must be resolved in a way which will further you on the way to your highest goals. The tension that can often be found in relationships can work positively when the individuality of each person is recognized and respected, because this really does make it possible for you to support one another going forward. Completion, completing things, this is all connected here. It's letting go. Letting go really means coming to the realization that some people are part of your history, but they're not part of your destiny. It happens to everybody as they grow up. You find out who you are and what you want, and then you realize that, some people that you've known forever don't see things the way that you do. So you keep the wonderful memories,
but find yourself moving on. You must make a decision that you're going to move on. It doesn't just happen automatically. You've got to stand up and say, I don't care what aggravation is involved in this. I'm not going to slow down. I am moving on with my life. Now, even though you may want to move forward in your life, you may have one foot on the brakes. In order to be free, you must learn how to let go, release the hurt, release the fear. Just don't think about your old pains. The energy that it takes to hang on to the past, well, that can stop you from moving forward. It will hold you back. So what is it that you want to let go of today? And just forget the past. Forget it. You see, if you spend your time hoping someone will suffer the consequences for what they did to your heart, then you're allowing them to hurt you a second time in your mind. And never talk yourself down in this situation. Look, you might be saying, look, I failed at that. Failure is, it's very laden with bad imagery around it. Everybody, we are all failures. At least the best of us are. Anyway, there is here, as I see, success, love, abundance pouring out and in front of you. And why am I getting that? You drew this first. This is the chariot. Now, there's a lot of water. This is a great water card for you. This is the cardinal water card here. You're the mutable water card. This is the child of the powers of water, the lord of the triumph of light. A lot of Cancer around it. And so Cancer is doing two things for you. That protective shell is making sure that you move slowly forward, but once you've surveyed the scene, and you are protecting yourself with that shell, if you like. The other thing here is that this is speaking of you having victory over adversity. Now, I think that this is saying that you have probably come through something of a difficult period, but you've overcome it. And you get success over previous negative patterns. There might be something of a focus on self-discipline here. You're moving towards higher goals. There's a change for the good now. There is success, but this success is going to come with really little or no support from anybody else. This person here is examining all the possible consequences before daring to set this chariot in motion on a new beginning. For once the driver has chosen to start, well, there won't be any turning back. Nothing will be able to stop the journey. So there is perhaps a journey for you, the start of a new phase in a relationship or a living situation or work life. But don't decide anything hastily. Everything requires exact examination and preparation. But once the groundwork is done, the new start should not be put off unnecessarily, because everything here points to favorable developments and success. This is a turning point. There may also be a breakthrough here for you. Now, there is, in times of breakthrough and in new beginnings, which I see here, you need the protection and support of a loving atmosphere, which provides a sense of safety and security. Because I think that the oncoming change, which is coming along for you, is going to bring a lot of excitement and unrest. And this is particularly a time to avoid chaotic, disorganized, or loveless relationships. Now, the oncoming changes, I think, promise a really positive phase in your life. So ready yourself, organize yourself, examine the possibilities. I think you're going to leave a lot behind. Now, what area of your life will you be changing? Are you ready to get rid of the old so you can make room for the new and seek or create for yourself a loving, secure environment where there you can plan the change or journey. Now, I'm getting here that your body probably also needs attention and activity now. But say this to yourself: I motivate others positively. I am responsible for what I cause, and I accomplish things really well and with ease, and I am putting my life in order and preparing for the new beginning. And then, is it finally? I think it is. Oh, we said this is surrealism, didn't we, this deck? Is that guy Dali? It looks like him, doesn't it? He's depicted as the devil. Well, this is Saturn ruling Capricorn with Mars exalted, but Mars in its best form, in the fiery material energy of creation. Mars actually resides in your third decan, those born in the last 10 degrees of the sign. Very fertile energy, this procreative energy. That is sex in a nutshell. You'll start feeling really good, have a sense of vitality, sensuality, sexuality, creative energy. You could be acting on blind impulse from time to time. And I have to say that people are going to find you irresistibly attractive. Do with that what you will. Now, I suspect that you are going to be focused on some material goal. Now, this might relate to work or an ambition, or even just looking after your own best interests, because there's nothing wrong with that. But it's saying that you can accomplish a lot if you are focused. And this devil, I don't think, is distracted by anything else. He's very focused on the task at hand. Now, it's in Capricorn. Astrologically, Capricorn is a sign of business, career, and worldly success, social standing, so these things are going to come your way as well, I suspect. Now, you do have an ambitious side. You may as well accept that. But see it for what it is without becoming a slave to it. You will also, at this time, I think, have a strong desire to compete, to win, and to improve. You want to build up the material side of your life. I think you could find that you are very sexually attracted to somebody, whether you do anything about it or not. And certainly there is the desire here for a relationship that is deep, one that goes right through you. Now, during this period where you are focused on things, there may well be some people who demonize you and make you out to be the devil. Well, just brush them off with good humor and accept what life gives you and keep your feet on the ground. Now, do you have some wish or desire that you don't admit to? Say this to yourself now, because it's definitely true, that I am a vital, joyful, and grounded person. I enjoy my sexuality. Whether my problems are real or imagined, I can handle them realistically and with good humor. I am entitled and to success. I am steaming forward because at all times I am the captain of my ship. What a great spread. All the better for you being here.
Well, didn't I tell you that was interesting art, and I'm sure that you would have enjoyed it as much as I did. Now, of course, the new calendar year, and my best wishes to you all. Now, unless I see you again privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for healing, then I'll see you again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, it's bye for now.